Welcome back once more, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully that's upped a little. Anyway, we're back once again, and we're gonna move right on to the next game. Let's do it, shall we? Episode 12. Yes.
Remember, everyone, the better the battle.
Pirate colony.
the better my story.
No, not even slightly. Sunken ruins. Sunken ruins. Oh yeah, I was saying in an episode, there's a big area, there's like one part of a map that's like the best part, and this is that part of this map. So I couldn't think of any examples. Anyway, we haven't had this map before, we haven't had Sunken Ruins before. Team Deathmatch once again. I don't know why, because we don't play Team Deathmatch that much. I didn't say the date. I think this was the 3rd of January 2017, so once again we're going back. We're kicking it back. Me and Peekaboo don't even have our crushing badges, so this must have been leading up to that momentous moment. Momentous moment. Yes. Guess that's technically not wrong. I was actually thinking before I started recording this, I don't delete these videos after I watch them, you know, I can't remove them from the capture gallery once I've watched them. So what do I do if I start recording and I've clicked on a match that I've already done, you know? Like, realistically I wouldn't forget, you know, realistically I wouldn't click on a match and be like, oh, this is good, and then be like, oh, I've already done this one. I don't think it would take me a few minutes to realize, but I suppose that's something to think about, you know? How do I tell which ones I've done and which ones I haven't done? And a lot of the time, you know, sometimes I'm lucky and I get my hand up and I can tell, okay, I don't know the victory. But a lot of the time with these videos, the last frame of the thumbnail, the last frame is the thumbnail, I should say, and the last frame is the victory, you know, or the defeat. You know, it's the result of the game. So this match, for example, I already know how it's gonna go, like victory or defeat wise. And that's a little disappointing, I suppose, but, you know, live and learn. Plus, I suppose it's not so much the matter of whether we win or not, it's the contents of the game, you know? It's not win or lose, it's whether we had fun along the way. It's the friends we made along the way. Maybe the real Giggles React to Uncharted 4 multiplayer was just the friends we made along the way. Yeah, Reign of Fury 04. Fantastic name. That's really... You sure showing them. Boba Fetch. Boba Fetch. Don't believe that's right. I believe it's Boba Fett. Cyberpunk 80s. He must be a fan of Cyberpunk 2077. Don't know why he'd be a fan of it. It hasn't come out yet, but then again, I suppose that's the sort of game you play and, you know, everyone's gonna love regardless of whether they love it or not, eh? Yeah, anyway. So yeah, we are in Sunken Ruins. This is a pretty good map, actually. It's one of those maps where whenever I play it, I'm like, oh, not this map. But I generally almost always have a good time on it. It's a map that I feel, it's the sleeper hit, you know? It's the sleeper hit of the Uncharted 4 multiplayer. It's the map that you don't want to play on, but you generally end up having a good time when you play on it, I feel. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you feel differently. Let me know in the comments below if you do. What is your sleeper hit for map for Uncharted 4? So, well, I don't even know. What's a sleeper hit? Is a sleeper hit a map where you're like, oh, not this? I guess it's more just an underrated map, you know, a map that... Yeah, a map that's kind of underrated. It kind of flies under the radar. I think Sunken Ruins is a very good candidate for that. And if I could think of any other maps on the multiplayer, I would tell you my other guesses or my other examples, but I don't have any. Because I can't remember them. Anyway. But yeah, Sunken Ruins is a pretty good map. I enjoyed this part of the campaign a lot, actually. I think it's really, really beautiful, actually. I really love the design of the houses. I really love the whole idea about this secret city that the pirates made for themselves. It's actually incredible, to be honest with you. I absolutely love that idea. That was my phone. Sorry, once again, just my DM's just blowing up. It's actually Peekaboo. It's actually Peekaboo. He's telling me upload first, record later. Well, fuck off, mate. Fuck off, because I'm recording. I'm recording, alright? So piss off, mate. And you're in this game and you just died. So take that. Anyway. The terror wrist. That's a bloody scary wrist.
You needed my help on that one.
We're losing currently. Alright. Anyway, yeah. So the whole idea of some pirate colony off there, you know, New Devon and all that. I really love that idea because as impractical as it is, I guess, it just makes sense. You know, it makes sense. Like, oh, let's just bloody go off and just make these massive fucking houses that, you know, one house is like the size of a neighborhood, you know? It's insane. And like I said, completely impractical really, but I love the idea and I love the look of it, and especially this, you know, like, I think they got a lot of inspiration from The Last of Us as well, with all the green and all the grass growing everywhere, you know, showing how decayed it is, I guess. I really love that aspect to it as well, because obviously, you know, The Last of Us is like 30 years later, but this is like thousands of years later, really, isn't it? So yeah, I think, you know, one thing you really can't fault Uncharted 4 for is the environmental design, you know, the level design specifically. I remember praising that very highly because the level design is incredible. It's fantastic. And yeah, just the overall design, the look of the game, the ambition, you know, the environments, it's incredible. It's a sight to behold. And the game, still 3 years on, is still one of the best looking games out there, even on a console that is, you know, it was underpowered to start with, really. But that's not a dig at PlayStation because, you know, I like PlayStation. But Uncharted 4 is very much one of those games, oh, imagine it on PC, imagine what it would look like, you know? Imagine how it would run. That'd be a dream come true. But, you know, exclusivity deals and such. Going around for a flank, helping out Piku where I can. He's gonna die. Yeah, he probably is actually. Or not, because this guy, no, he still died, because I just couldn't put him away.
Sit down. Off you go.
But yeah, Uncharted 4 campaign, it's probably not that bad, is it? I do need to replay at some point. I suppose I will do that eventually. But yeah, I don't know, it's not something I've thought about for a while. Because I haven't, you know, it's weird actually, I've replayed all the Uncharted games many times. The only one I haven't actually replayed is The Lost Legacy. And if you watch my first impressions video on that, you'll know that I was a big fan of that, and I probably still am, but I only played it the one time. I actually never bothered to replay it, which is weird. Because even Uncharted 4, I've, you know, played 2 or 3 times in total, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, we're 4 KOs behind. We're 3 KOs behind. Playing as Lena, once again. That's... yeah, I mean, it's not like that's apparent or anything. Piku's playing as Chloe. We got Drake there with the Chintamani stone. Let's see if he can use it. That grenade came out of nowhere. Probably gonna throw a grenade. I'm predictable. Yep. Did nothing, but if I threw it a little bit further, probably would have done something.
Watch me work, asshole.
Alright, we seem to be bringing it back a bit.
I backed you up.
So yeah, this main room here, I think this is like, you know, I mean, it is the sort of free lane, you know, map design that I guess people don't really like. I don't really have a strong opinion on it. I think that, I don't know, I feel like the middle, you know, Auction House, for example, that middle hallway, I feel like the middle lane is always going to be the one that's used the most, and the other ones are kind of redundant. But, you know, the one on the right from this point in the map, that one's really good too, and it's just the one on the left where I'm like, no. But I guess that's the thing about the maps, it's the same thing throughout the entire map, you know, it's just one lane here, one lane here, one lane here, except the middle and the right are just far more interesting to play on, I guess. I guess this one is as well, because there is a bit of verticality, which is another reason why the Uncharted 4 level design is just stupidly good, because there's so much verticality. I can't say that word. There's a lot of vertical aspects to it, you know? It's very, I don't know, it's very unique. Every setting, every I was about to say combat, every combat scene in the game. What am I talking about? What I'm trying to say is just that, you know, Uncharted 4, it has some high points in the combat, you know, the environments. There are some high points, there are some low points, and it just creates a very unique and very refreshing gameplay experience. I think. I haven't played it in a while. I'm kind of just talking out my ass here. Anyway, he's swimming around. That's the last KO.
That was great.
Well. That was... what am I doing here? Okay then, I'm just mashing the button. So me and Pigba died the same amount of times. I got 1 revive more than him, 6 more assists. I kind of just kicked his ass, to be honest. It was a 5v4 though, but then again, once again, our teammates really didn't help us too much there, did they? So once again, another episode where I kind of just rambled on about things that aren't necessarily related to the game. but maybe you'll enjoy watching the game by itself. You know, you could just put it on mute if you so desire. But yeah, that was episode. Oh god. I want to say 12. It's 12. It's definitely 12. Episode 12. Yes, indeed. Episode 12. Let's keep saying episode 12. Episode 12. See you. See you next time. Episode 12. What is... Alright, I'm gonna press the button now.